second question, and I would love us to implement that here because the second question is like, what is like the biggest training mistake one can do? And what do you think would be like, for instance, in her case now, the biggest mistake she could do?
A, not train with us. B, um, this it was a joke. B, I think I often fell into the trap of thinking if stuff starts to work, I have to do something different than before. But the point is, okay, she could literally do the sequence that I've just described for the rest of her life, and she'll experience progress throughout it, right? Maybe it's not going to be enough if the skill of her goal, whether that's a whatever snatch or a barbell back squat, maybe that's not going to be enough. But that can be adapted towards it. So the only mistake you can do is, and I don't know why, but that's such a human trait. If stuff starts to work, we immediately think we have to do something different,
Mhm.
better, or I mean, um, the what's the scroll down effect, the new exercise stuff. No, no, no. The point is, start with those exercises and get become an expert at those exercises, knowing every single nuance of where to put my foot, where to put the pressure while increasing the weight, how to like become an expert in a reverse sled drag. This sounds so stupid because just yeah, you grab a slab and walk backwards. Well, maybe there's more to it than just that. So stick with that program for as long as it's giving you progress. That's it. And if at some point you're not seeing progress anymore, okay, then we can talk about the next steps. So just stick with what's working and stop trying to search for something new all the time. The problem is us, not the program we're doing. The problem is us not making the program work and not the program not working for us.
Could you repeat that again? That last
Yes.
sentence? I'm sorry.
So no, it's okay. So the point is, I have a perfectly written sequence for
Mhm.
the lady I've just talked about. Brilliant. But it's not the program itself. I can give the same program to
Mhm.
somebody that has no clue about the skill of position, the skill of tension, what to actually look for, how to engage stuff, etc., and it's not going to fucking work,
Mhm.
right? So it's not about the program itself, it's about us making it work. So the lady making it work, and obviously she has our help, so she will make it work. And that's what coaching is about. It's not about sending that PDF that I've just created with brilliant exercises. No, no, no. We have to invest more time in, okay, what does a neutral pelvis mean? What muscle is attached? Like that will help us become an expert at that exercise. But guess what? It takes a little bit of time to learn that.
Would you
So what
say
does that mean? Yeah, go
Would
ahead.
you say though that this is also a mistake that you did in the past? Kind of like
Oh,
this program hopping?
absolutely. Sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Because apparently there's a weird formula in training which the two most deciding factors for progress is self-hate and volume. So the more volume, the more self-hate you can create, the better your progress will be. Well, it turns out it's kind of working, but either you break mentally or physically with doing that. So my mistake that I did a lot is, okay, let's say I want to improve my back squat to 200 kilos, which I did apparently. Is okay, if I follow a linear progression, whatever the name is, 5-3-1 Wendler or Swallow cycle, whatever, and I just do the mathematical approach of okay, 6 reps with 70% on Monday, 7.5 reps on Tuesday. Okay, if that will work, everybody would squat 300 kilos.
Mhm.
Turns out it's not working, and that was the hardest change for me is realizing okay, it's not the program that gives me a 200 kilo back squat. I am the issue here. That means my I don't understand what I need to learn, or my rate of learning is too slow. That's rate of learning is intelligence. So that means can I break it down? Can I break my back squat down to a level where I literally understand every single step that I have to take? Okay, where does my feet need to go? Okay, what is shoulder width? What does it mean for me? What does it mean having more pressure on my heel? So breaking every single step down. Think of it as reading an instruction written for a kid trying to turn on the computer. Or if I have to explain my mom, who's 75 years old, how to turn on the computer and send an email.
Mm.
I cannot just say, press the button on, open the email program, and write an email. She won't get it. I have to tell her, okay, mom, listen to this. The on button is the button at the very right corner at the top of your laptop. Okay, can you see it? No, I don't see it. Okay, there's O and N on it, so press it. Yes, I pressed it, but nothing's happening. Okay, press it for 3 seconds and don't let go of the button. Okay, oh, now something's happening. Great. Okay, cool. What do you see? Okay, there's some light coming and I have to type in a password. Like, you get it. This is how we need to explain, and this is how we need to learn a squat. Turns out, this is exactly how kids learn. We as adults have a problem with learning like this because we think we know better because we're just 45 years in the business. But if you have no clue about squatting, this is how you need to learn it,
Mm.
right? So this is the biggest mistake that I made. In my own training, I did not break it down low enough so I could actually learn what I need to do and practice that until I could not do it any other way.
Mm.
And that's why my back squat went up.
Okay. I'm I'm just now thinking about like, would you say that because you mentioned like all the really popular programs that are out there, that oftentimes you see like the chosen few kind of like for whom that program works perfectly and who kind of like get the twist, get the hang on things, and maybe just are like gifted in a way and they work hard and kind of like it's a perfect marriage. But then there's like a ton of other people that you don't see that just get burned out with those programs.
Yes. So let me take a step back. So the biggest step for me was um okay, I spent quite some time in gyms and training myself, but I've broken down every single skill that I think I was good at into, okay, did I invest 10,000 hours plus into it? That just doesn't mean doing it for 10,000 hours. It's like, okay, breaking it down and then actually practicing what I've written down on the squat. And the only things that were left on that list of 10,000 hours of skills for me was literally showing up at the gym, not working on my squat, showing up at the gym, driving a car, working on a computer, and playing tennis because apparently that's what I did a lot when I was young. Okay, outside of that, I'm a toddler at any other skill. That was my different approach. So that means if I tackle a new skill, like learning a language, everybody realizes they're toddlers because if you want to learn Chinese and Mandarin, guess what? You have no clue what to do. So you have to start like learning like a child, very simple, one letter after the other. And that was a huge one for me because that shifted my ego from I should know how to squat. I've done this for 10 years now towards okay, I've never thought about that aspect and I've just not practiced it enough how to put more pressure on my heel without lifting my toes up. I've just not practiced this for 10,000 hours, so I cannot be skilled at it.
Mhm.
And sorry, and once I've broken it down, the squat got better because I put my ego out of the way. I was like, you're not a boss at that exercise, you're a toddler. And that's totally fine. So I need to start at a toddler level. What does it mean for teaching that in a class, for example? Because you mentioned some programs are working
Mhm.
for the bosses and some work programs are not working for the toddlers. Because we train people in groups, I guess, and in classes where bosses and toddlers are mixed up. So that means there's only one strategy that works for both. That means you have to break it down to the simplest form ever, and it will work for both
Mhm.
because the bosses can still work on the basics, so to speak, and the toddlers need to start working on the basics. So it will work for both in the same class, right? If you do the other way around, which most people are doing, which is you start with a barbell back squat, the bosses will get better, and the toddlers will get
Mhm.
lost
Mhm.
totally,
Mhm.
right? So that's why we've created the hierarchies and the benchmarks and that approach, because that approach will help everyone. And of course, we're going to develop everybody on a boss level towards more higher skills or whatever their actual goals are. And fun part is if you're a boss at barbell back squats and you squat whatever 250, you will still get better doing the quote unquote my principles and my basics that I describe in the book. And that's the fun part because it will work no matter the level you are. And that's how I knew we work down to a principle.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That's all we have for today.
Sweet. Great question, guys. Bring them on. Love talking about it. I guess we'll see each other next week. Have a fun one.